What's going on, my fellow Texans? Texas Cannabis here. I know it's been a while since my last video. Obviously, we all know that there's been some circumstances, to say the least. Luckily, I fared okay through the storms, the winter storm. All of my plants made it. No water damage, no busted pipes, nothing like that. Hopefully, all of y'all had the same luck that I did. I know it's been a while since the last video, so this one is really just going to be an update about everything that I've been working on for the last month or two. And it's been a lot. There's been a lot that I have been focusing on. I filed for my LLC. It was approved, so I'm now a small business owner. The name of the business is South Texas Cannabis. And some think that I've been kicking around in my head is changing the name of the channel to South Texas Cannabis as well, just so that there's the brand similarity. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I just leave the YouTube channel as Texas Cannabis, or should I make it South Texas Cannabis to match the business? I don't know. I can't decide. So that's been taking up a lot of my time, filing the business, getting the bank set up, which is a pain. Trying to figure out how to open a bank account for a cannabis business is not an easy thing. I wish someone would have told me that. So other than just finances and stuff like that, it's really just the business itself is going to be the means for me to sell my products. So it was the last video I think I made, or maybe it was 2 videos ago. I talked about how to sell your products, what permits you need, this and that. I decided that I wanted to have a business name that I would sell under. So South Texas Cannabis is going to be the name of my concentrates company, where I'll be selling my distillate and my gummies and my candies and anything like that will go under the brand name South Texas Cannabis. Now, for my growing permit, that's still under myself as a sole proprietor. What I'll probably end up doing is just like whatever harvest I get, I'll give that to South Texas Cannabis for them to produce, if that makes sense. So besides the business, I mentioned distillate. I've been pretty much spending all of my time practicing how to make distillate and how to refine my processes, winterization, and all of that. Actually today I'm doing a distillate run. I'm just waiting on some more fresh glassware to come in because I ruined half my glassware on the first try. So that's been a great learning experience. I started off just distilling the ethanol, getting familiar with the process, learning the equipment, and once I felt comfortable with what I was doing, I went the next step up, and now I'm distilling the CBD on its own to produce distillate for vape carts. I do have a little bit of footage from those runs. I'll probably put a little bit of the distillation footage right here while I'm talking, just so you guys can kind of see if you haven't. And that brings me on to my next point was, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, I'm posting videos like distillation runs, updates on my grows, all that stuff. I wouldn't say daily, but pretty frequently. So if you guys aren't following me on Instagram at South Texas Cannabis, go check it out. I'll have a link in the video description so you guys can easily get to it, find it, all that good stuff. I also have a Facebook page for the business now if you guys are interested in shooting a like my way for that. And since we're on the topic of likes, why don't you go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate it. So, one thing I did want to show you guys was my plants. Let me grab them. So these are the babies here. This is called Boax. Oh, there's a little bee coming to say hey. Yeah, so they're still tiny. I'm getting them out here in the sun, getting them adapted because they will be outdoor plants. I want to say those plants are about 3 weeks old now, since they popped out of their seed shell. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'd have to go and look. But yeah. So I went over the business a little bit, my distillation practice. I showed you guys a little bit of footage from that. And as you can see, the 2020 grow season has started. So, as promised, I will be keeping you updated. Y'all will be following along with these plants. So I haven't really gone over like how to germinate a seed or growing a seedling or anything like that, because that's pretty generic, kind of across the board, going to be similar. So if you don't know how to germinate a seed, don't start with marijuana or cannabis. I would say maybe try growing something a little easier like basil or spinach or lettuce or something, just so that you can practice that green thumb, because trust me, you do not want to start wasting cannabis. It is expensive and it hurts when you waste something. The next step for these guys is going to be, after they're hardened off, once they're used to the sun, some of them are going to be going straight into the ground and some of them are going to be going straight into pots. And I'm probably going to be switching up the format of the videos. You know, here I'm standing talking to the camera. When I'm out in the garden and working, obviously that's not going to be as easy. I may have like use the tripod sometimes, but a lot of the times I'll probably just be holding it and talking to the camera. I do have a fairly nice camera here, so it should be solid with the audio. I just like to use my mic so you get right up next to me. It's nice and intimate. Hello to all of my new subscribers. Thanks everyone who likes and comments on my videos. You know, I hope everyone fared through the storm well. Spring is here. It's about to start warming up, so I'll be outside a lot. I'm finally getting to shoot a video in the backyard again, and as you can tell, all the jasmine in the backyard is dead. I was able to save all of my potted plants here. They made it okay. So, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm Texas Cannabis. I hope y'all have a great day, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace out.